We're live, coming to you live from the truck.
So, yeah, we are going to have to interrupt your regularly scheduled Overland Bonfire podcast for our all-new show called Rick and Matt Make Sure Missouri's Still There. And,
It's here.
yep, second year in a row, Missouri is still here. So if you were worried, it's okay. You can sleep easy tonight.
Knowing.
Yeah. So, hey, we are doing a little special episode, probably going to be one of a series, at least one more.
Maybe 5. Because
Yeah.
we got 15 hours.
It depends on how bored we are on the drive back. We are almost, in the grand scheme of things, to Springfield, Missouri, where we are coming to the Expo for the second year in a row. Really enjoyed that event last year. Chris and his team put on a good weekend. 2-day event, Friday, Saturday. A lot of good folks. We saw plenty of familiar faces and met some new folks last year. So we will be there. So Matt, how you feeling? We put down the miles. We left our beloved Bedford at like 5 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah. Then drove till 2 in the morning.
Yep.
Took a nap. Drove some more.
Yep.
And we're almost there. No, excited about the more Expo going back this year.
Yeah. We have got the camper behind us in tow with a bunch of gear. Hopefully it goes back empty. And
That'd be nice.
we'll update you on that on the next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. We hit a Midwest classic. We had Casey's Pizza for a late lunch.
Yeah, so if you're looking for gas station pizza, this part of the country, Casey's is a win. It's one of the better gas station pizzas you'll find. Not always the best service, we found out, but or at least the one right outside of Kairos, Illinois on the Missouri side is
But
a little less than impressive, but it was good.
but we're not the most tactical guys that we know.
No,
But maybe we are pretty stealthy in the grand scheme of things.
could be.
Because that lady did not see me for a solid 3 minutes at the counter. I even moved around a little.
Well, I made sure I made eye contact, and she acted like I was invisible, like I had a cloak on, like I was Harry fucking Potter or something.
But we finally did secure the pizza and got back on the road. It is very windy, as one would expect in a place that is tabletop flat.
Holy crap, is it windy?
It's just jerking the camper and therefore the truck around quite a bit. Missouri's interesting. It's either these fields are really big and there's regular size houses on the other side of them, or there's a lot of model houses setting out in the size of regular size fields. I can't tell.
Stuff for like your HO train set.
Yeah. Yeah. Perspective is tricky out here.
That's right.
So, is that a silo or is that a toilet paper tube? I mean,
Yeah.
So Matt, this is even probably going to be more random than our average episode, which is boldly going where no one has gone before. But we do have something. And I'm proud of us because we've held on to this for
A long time.
12 hours. So bringing back the Cherokee Olympics, or whatever we called it 5 or 6 episodes ago,
But yes.
we picked up some No Man's Land beef
I
jerky.
swear we've tried No Man's Land on video before, but
No, I don't remember it. But we probably shouldn't have kept our scoreboard on a whiteboard because it's been long erased.
good point.
We do have to do at least one more episode because Matt picked up on one of our other gas stops.
My favorite.
Side note, we're driving the Prospector, so we also could call this a tour of all the gas stations between Bedford, Virginia and Springfield, Missouri. That could be
Because we cannot pass a gas station.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's every other on the way out, and we had the ones we missed on the way back.
Right.
So he did pick up another one that I'm excited about because he's been talking about it forever, and I've never had that one.
I like the from the jar is one of my favorites. So I'm pretty sure we had No Man's. I don't know if we had this, but this is.
Nope. They already lost a point. Man, I hate when your rip here thing is actually not.
Not a rip here.
Yeah, you got to go below that. So remember, kids, keep your knife sharp. So when you pull it out in the truck doing 70 miles an hour on a rough highway, if you stab yourself, it goes in nice and clean. It's easier to patch that up. That's what we'll talk about. First aid. All right, Matt. So No Man's Land. This is the mild, 17 grams of protein per serving.
How big's a serving?
That is a reasonable serving. 3 per container.
Oh,
Yeah.
how many grams of protein?
17. Yeah. All right. This pause is not for dramatic effect.
It's not. It's that beef jerky is chewy
Yeah.
and salty,
Yeah.
which are two of my favorite things in a beef jerky.
Yeah, no, for sure. I want something that's makes me feel like I'm out here on the plains in a wagon train. And this is all I've got.
Right.
We're also filming this in the GoPro, so I don't know how this is really coming through. But look at that fiber texture. That is somewhere between prime beef and asbestos, which is what I want out of a good road trip turkey. No.
That fiber content.
It may be fiberglass, but nonetheless. Just kidding. It actually is really good.
Yeah. 100%. I think I had a bag of that going to South Carolina, and the other day. So in 5 hours, I had 52 grams of protein or whatever. I was just doing that math real quick. I'm like, wow, that was a pretty heavy.
He got out and bench pressed the truck during stuff. Oh,
absolutely.
So before we get back around to first aid, because we do have some cool first aid stuff to talk about, Matt. We had a little bit of trouble finding a hotel last night because normally Matt and I on these trips, we get it, we're pulling a camper, but we do a pretty hard drive far into the night, find somewhere to crash, sleep 6 hours, get back in, knock out the rest of it.
Yeah.
We are kind of starting to have a record, and you had an experience last week with man, they talk about the economy, but people are sure getting out and staying at random hotels along the interstate.
It seems like, I drove back from South Carolina last week, and it was a Thursday night or something. I was coming home, and from Charlotte to home, I got off at probably 4 or 5 exits, and every hotel I went to was full. I ended up just driving the rest of the way home, got in at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or no, 4:30 in the morning. But I'm not a fan of that kind of drives. I don't like the all-night thing. But last night was the same thing. We were calling.
Yeah, and I mean, no offense to the fine folks at Clarksville, Tennessee, but I don't know why there were so many people visiting.
Right.
That exit had 6 hotels. We called 4 before we found one that had a vacancy.
Yeah.
Which last year we had a similar situation coming back for more, except we were on the Missouri side, and it was wild. So
between there and Paducah, we couldn't find anything.
Yeah. We're gonna remedy that this year. Don't worry.
We're gonna call ahead, as opposed to start looking at midnight.
I've got some already pulled up on Booking.com.
Okay.
Yeah, already. And I'll give them credit. A lot of places have abandoned cart things where if you put something in your cart, then you get off the website. All I did was search Paducah, and then an hour later they sent me an email. It was enjoy your time in Paducah. Here's some great tips. It was whoa, easy. I haven't committed yet. Yeah.
And let's be real, we're not going to commit to Paducah if we don't have to.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we may commit for 6 hours to nap, but
yeah.
we're not really looking to stay and visit places, I don't think. Although there was a distillery on the way by there that looked was that Old Glory or something?
Oh, Glory, that was in...
It was just before. It might have been Tennessee.
That was on the Tennessee side. Yeah, somewhere around Clarksville,
I don't know anything about Old Glory, I don't think.
No, neither do I. They have a nice building, though. The building was cool.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Totally worth the stop if I was going to stay in Paducah for more than a bit.
Yeah.
Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Something should be famous about Poplar Bluff, and I know we had this conversation last time, and I couldn't find it. But
this has been a trip of deja vu, guys. Literally, we left at the same time. We stopped near the same places.
Yeah.
Shout out to Missouri State Police. We just went by. They were changing a tire for somebody. Good on those guys. Thanks for the protect and serve. The fine folks here. Matt.
He was executing serve well.
I did not find anything about Poplar Bluff, about why it's famous. I think we failed last year.
I know. We did.
Was it a show?
I keep thinking Green Acres or something was in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. I feel like there was some kind of old show where they talked about Poplar Bluff, Missouri, but maybe I'm losing my mind. If anybody knows, I'd like to.
Yeah.
You should comment because I can't come up with it. But maybe it wasn't Poplar Bluff, Missouri either. I don't know.
Green Acres was a good show, though.
It was.
Yeah. So,
Mr. Haney.
Yeah. I used to be all about that, some Gilligan's Island, stuff like that. Beverly Hillbillies. Hey, last week at the shop, we had our kind of pilot class with our
Rodney
Dewson, the Overland medic.
with our Rodney.
Our good friend, beloved compatriot.
Beloved compatriot.
Yeah. So we had a kind of a small pilot class. Rodney got us all wilderness first aid certified, and we did a Friday night session, kind of an all-day hands-on, going through the book skills session, and then Sunday morning was the like practical, where as a team the group kind of like responded to an incident and used all the stuff they learned the day before, and then like assigned some roles to people in the team and stuff like that. No, but the class went really well, and we're going to have some more of that going on there at the shop. So be on the lookout. If you've got anything that you're interested in, we have got plenty of knowledgeable experts in our circle, I would say, for things like radio and broadband for first aid and some other stuff. So if you don't know, we've got a great facility there at the shop with a campground and some space for like class sessions and stuff. And we're going to do more of that. And speaking of, our campground is now on HipCamp.
That's exciting.
Yeah, if you want to come camp with us, kicking off the spring season, right behind the shop on 60 acres, pines, gravel road, campsites for 1 truck, campsites for like 8 trucks.
Primitive, let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, it is primitive camping, as it's been intended, we may make some improvements in the future, but we are keeping it boondocking for the moment.
Yeah, for sure. So no RVs, no hookups.
Yeah.
Very much bring your own shitter.
Yeah. Please, if you do it in our woods, do it with grace and stealth.
And a shovel.
And a shovel. Yeah, that's important. That was implied in the grace, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or we'll rent you a pooper trooper for $600.
We should totally like have shovels at every campground that says outhouse.
Yeah. Outhouse key.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Matt, so we were talking, for those of you that listen all the time, you probably have picked up on this, but maybe you don't know. Matt is very knowledgeable in all things agricultural.
Oh my God, that's not true.
I mean, he listens to a lot of podcasts and he has a degree in it, so.
Well, not officially, but yeah, let's.
Yeah. He was telling me something really cool, because there's a level of agriculture out here that you don't really quite see in our neck of the woods. Back east especially, but not in the more mountainous regions. And I thought this was really interesting because, I mean, just a guesstimate, what do you think they're like pushing on like an average field around here?
Oh, I bet most of the farms out here, small farmers are probably 1,000 acres.
Yeah, like
big guys are probably in the 10 range.
And some of these fields are like hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
And as a single
200 acre pivots and all. Just big. There's some big monsters out here.
Yeah, the machinery goes, it's the first thing you notice. Back home we've got plenty of like tractor dealerships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is a whole different ballgame here. They're like,
you couldn't fit like 3 tractors on the dealership property.
Right, yeah. We got Casey's earlier was across the street from a farm supply place that had things that there wasn't a tire on the lot that was shorter than 6 or 7 feet,
It was a case dealer, and it's really interesting to look at the fucking equipment out here because it's mind-boggling how big it is.
And it's just like normal,
Yeah, no, it's right. Like they didn't have anything small. Like half that stuff I can't even turn around in my place.
In half a mile, slight right on the US 60 West ramp.
It's amazing. It's amazing the difference.
So as we were observing that, Matt and I were talking about like soil sampling and fertilizer and stuff, and he told me something I did not know. That it is on a level now that for these giant fields and these huge farms, they can like dial that in by like the square footage.
West ramp.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because they'll sample all over that field, and then they'll plot that sample, and then they actually like fertilize by the X number of square feet. So if you have a deficit someplace, it'll put more fertilizer in it less, so it minimizes your fertilizer uses, maximizes kind of what you're doing. But it's amazing what they can do now. Like I'm just mind boggled at the technology that that a piece of equipment has. You even think about and I've not got to experience this, but like the auto drive stuff. They're trying to figure that out in cars, and tractors are almost robots at this point. They're on the bubble like for sure, you will have robotic tractors before you'll have, true autonomous cars.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really cool, like with the GIS and stuff like that, how they can plot it out and, turn this stuff loose, and
It's crazy.
everything from like, water to fertilizer can be like dialed in. It's surgical.
Mind-boggling to me. The leaps we've made in agriculture to feed the planet or fuel the planet, depending on what you're growing, I guess.
Yeah. No, now we're kind of like in the gateway to the Ozarks. I think it's what they call this area, and it is like not quite mountainous, but got some hills. It's kind of neat. Missouri is rather diverse in this little band. Now we're the southeastern corner. That's definitely an area I want to come back and like some time to explore. Like I've skirted the Ozarks several times, but never actually like got in the woods around here or spent any time.
What's the fishing like here?
I think there's some pretty good like warm water fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the trout situation's anything to write home about, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is really just a good sample of the kind of things we talk about. We don't have a lot of need for radio or podcast, except for making them.
Except for making them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting it's interesting even driving across the freeway, the stuff that you get to see, and
Yeah.
I'm always mind-boggled at.
Like the giant portobello place last night.
Right, so I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, I'm assuming it wasn't just the
I
mushrooms
don't
because
think they were growing mushrooms there.
it was like an Amazon distribution center sized building
Yeah.
with just the word portobello.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna say you could have Googled it. But, I like to live in mystery sometimes.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know?
Yeah.
I don't take all the wonder out of the world.
Yeah. And plus, I didn't need to know that, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of an interesting stuff. But I do really enjoy like the topography change and
Oh yeah.
as you're kind of moving, even in the state of Missouri, which is relatively flat state for part of it. I don't know. It's kind of got it has some neat stuff going on. And
Yeah.
it's amazing the things you see from the road are fun. Like I said, even just going down the highway like this, pulling a 20-foot sail behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and even like earlier in the day when we came across the Ohio and the Mississippi, because we crossed right where those two rivers come together, kind of like the major river deltas, I've always thought are kind of interesting how those affect the area around them. And even though we're way upstream, you still got some of that, like right around there where, the trees were different, the lay of the land was a little bit different, so.
Yeah, no, the Mississippi River is amazing. If you ever get bored, was it on Bear Grease that they did?
I
The
think so.
Mississippi?
The history of the Mississippi.
The history of the Mississippi was like a 3-part podcast they did. It was like really well done. Like all kinds of neat stuff about it, and the watershed. It's a really good podcast if you're bored or not bored. If you have a lot of time driving, like that was a pretty slick thing. I feel like I learned a lot about that. And then the other thing is you gotta, at least for us, for me, want to get across Illinois as quickly as I can. So
Yeah.
we go the Tennessee route, not Indiana, Illinois.
Yeah.
Because I try to spend as little time in Illinois as possible.
Agreed. And it presents its own challenges, but I feel like our choice in departure time has kind of helped us out because
Yes.
if you've never driven across Tennessee on 40 during daylight hours, it's really hard to avoid Knoxville and Nashville and not hit one or the other at like a really bad time, like morning lunch or like rush hour at the end of the workday. But if you leave Central Virginia at 5:30 or 6,
and you drive half the night,
yeah.
you'll get past Nashville.
Yeah, at 1 in the morning. Yeah. So all problems avoided. So Matt, this episode is going to come out. I think will we be in Norway when it comes out?
Maybe.
Yeah. So let's see, Sunday will put us a week out from departure, and we're going to be in Norway for about 2 weeks. Did the math, confirmed this morning we're doing about a 1,000-mile road trip.
Around Norway. You think we can broadcast on the planes live? Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, I've hardly had in-flight Wi-Fi that worked, let alone that dependable. So.
Delta, I've had pretty good luck on Delta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's always like just up and down for me.
Yeah.
Half the time I've kind of, a little browbeat and I don't even bother. But yeah, no, we'll have plenty of content and stories for that. We're going to be
Maybe we'll record one live from the recorded live
yeah.
in front of a live studio audience.
Well, we're renting I don't know, like a
27 passenger van.
some weird Ford that we don't have here.
Oh, is it a Ford?
I think so. I think that's what Liz sent originally.
Okay.
So we'll set this up, and then I say the girls because we're the only males. The girls will be horrified at what they are subjected to as we record one driving around Norway. So I think we just got a plan for like 3 episodes from now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's a good idea. We'll get a couple covered this week and on this drive, and then we'll do Norway.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. I think we gotta stop and get gas. So we may have to.
I don't know if you could see, but we did pass a gas station, so we were contractually obligated
Did
to
you go to
stop.
the next one? Yes, that is true. We can't. We're not allowed to pass more than one without a stop here. I'm hoping we find one in the next 56 miles, or else.
No, I feel like there's that weird one that looks like a box is on this road somewhere. Do you remember that? Last year?
I so don't. You remember so many things so well. Like I forget. I blank it all out.
Well, it's all that useless stuff. Like, in case next time I'm in Highway 60, I'm like, there's the box gas station.
Yeah, I got nothing. I remember that giant fireworks store in Tennessee, but that's about it.
Yeah, because that's like a hallucination on the side of 40.
Yeah, I've never been in there. Well, I've been in the parking lot once.
Oh, really? I mean, my in-laws live up the road from there, and I've never been in it. So you've got me being even in the parking lot. So.
The parking lot was due to a bathroom emergency that didn't happen to be mine.
Oh.
There was a pretty big panic about getting off the road.
Yeah.
And finding a restroom. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's a gas station right here.
And Missouri Down Under Adventure Zoo. So we're going to get gas and pet some kangaroos.
Right.
And
the Adventure Zoo.
We'll be back with another episode. Maybe it'll be today. Maybe it'll be after more. But hope you enjoyed our Tales from the Road.